Let's pretend for a moment that I actually have something worth saying. Is it worth listening to? If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? Scientifically, yes, it does. When something falls, it creates a reverberation in the air that surrounds it, which creates the thing we call sound. In some sense, we can kind of compare this to our own lives. Although we scream at the top of our lungs, hoping that someone might hear us, we feel that our voices go unheard, and sometimes they do. But every once in a while, in the distance, someone may be just barely able to make out what you've said. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. Quote. It's funny. It seems at the times when we need to say something the most, we find ourselves incapable of doing so. We cover it up with smiles, laughter, and yet, when we're feeling at our best, there seems to never be anyone there to share it with. I suppose this might be human nature. I suppose on the inside, we all might be screaming at the top of our lungs. So why is it on the outside no one hears a thing? We find it difficult to speak up and say what's on our minds for fear that it might not be the most popular opinion at the conversation table. Once in a while, if not consistently, we hear that we need to just grow up or man up, or some variation of that sentence. And we find ourselves baffled. Someone once told me that I can tell them anything, and to stop bottling up my emotions on the inside when there's something wrong to tell her. This was possibly the most difficult thing for me to do in my entire life. Not because the act of it was difficult, moving your mouth and making sound come from your lips isn't hard, but as a man, we're taught but a few things. We are to provide for our families, we are to protect them, and perhaps
activate your pineal gland. Activate your pineal gland.
Slam poetry, asteroid misses tree, hits me, fossil fuels. Heat is neat. Beep boop, beep boop, beep. You need me for heat. Now I'm extinct. Jurassic need, nuclear freeze. I talk up and down. No squeaks. Can you extinguish the need for heat? Use me. A haiku. Families are cold. Self-love
song for the 1.7 billion people. Pick up for the African, pick up to the Asian, pick up for the people who believe in the promised land. I said 1.7 billion people who believe in a better world for their children. Motivate the young people to make music, make music. If you hear this, please keep making music. Be fantastic as the next generation. Tap into the divine area of creation. Express creativity and give a try of meditation. Come to inner self like it's a representation of the higher self. Inner self, outer self, gonna get this off the shelf. Children believe in God is soms easier to understand. Overstand situation while smoking ace daily, everyday daily. Cannabis can bring world peace, love straight from the heart. I am out now, down duister, was extra fast.
Alpert and his powerful fans. His website is almost inaccessible in China. During that time, there were two extremes on the internet. One was to support and promote the lecture, and the other was to suppress the opposing forces and make the actor step down from the stage. It reminds me of an event when someone stimulates his followers on the website, which causes his social media account to be banned by the official. I have never participated in those types of terrible events and the situation with bad languages and the abuses. After all, not all people could remain rational and control emotions. I don't know the context of social media during the early time, but I believe it was not as complicated as today. As long as people get used to using social media, talking with me change. From my own experiences, I think there might be two situations of changing. A group of people towards a more free to give emotional abuse, while some are more thoughtless, aggressive, and ironic. Although it is not possible to look to the past, I hope my siblings could provide some tips for interacting online with others in the future. Thanks for listening.
Hey, it's David here. Fantastic news. I have an approval here on unsecured business working capital of $275,000 at a 1.10 rate with zero closing costs, ready to fund today. Credit is not a factor. Please give me a call now at 786-589-6956. Again, that number is 786-589-6956. I look forward to speaking with you. Goodbye.
I recall hearing a maid talk about opium and how smoking opium brings sweet dreams. And I said, I will smoke opium when I grow up. It was at this time and under these circumstances that I came in contact with junk, became an addict, and thereby gained the motivation, the real need for money I had never had before. You don't wake up one morning and decide to be a drug addict. It takes at least 3 months shooting twice a day to get any habit at all. You don't really know what junk sickness is until you have had several of us. It took me almost 6 months to get my first habit, and then the withdrawal symptoms were mild. I think it's no exaggeration to say it takes about a year and several hundred injections to make an addict. I tried it as a matter of curiosity. I drifted along, taking shots when I could spare. I ended up hooked. Most addicts I have talked to report a similar experience. I have never regretted my experience with drugs. I think I am in better health now as a result of using junk at intervals than I would be if I had never been an addict. I've learned a great deal from using junk. I've seen life
Hi, Albert. This is Saturday, April the 13th, 1968. I'd like to tell you what I have done today and get this tape going so we could get it mailed to you tomorrow. Number one is that, first thing, my Rolex watch has been running fast again, so I wrote them. They told me to send it back. So today I sent it back, and I told them I don't want them to keep it for 3 or 4 months like they have in the past. So if they do, to send it back to me. I wrote them a letter. Secondly, I went up and I got some more boxes at the King Soopers, and I cleaned up the car and of all the old papers I had, put them in different boxes. So the car don't look too bad in the trunk. The car does not run too bad. In fact, I sort of like it, and I could hardly wait to pick you up in August. I put in for my vacation August the 6th, and we should be there that weekend waiting for the ship to come in. Now, I don't want to spend too much time in L.A., and just as soon as you get out and leave, which I think should be about August the 10th, and you probably will want to run over to Shell Oil Company and say hello to them and get set up for your September 1 to go back to work. So I thought we would do, we go to Vegas, we spend a couple of days in Vegas, and then we would come back to home, because there are a lot of things you're going to do. You're going to have to build up your wardrobe. Even though you pick things up in Hong Kong, there still will be many things that you'll need. And you're going to have to go car hunting. Now, regarding a car overseas, there has been some talk that these people promise everything and give you a low price on a car and do not produce. Now, this is what I have heard. Now, how true it is, I do not know. I look into it. If you're serious, I can't tell you anything. But if you're serious about it, I would make sure that everything is on the up and up. So you use your own judgment on that. Now, when you tie up to the pier, are you going to be able to call in? We still have not heard. However, we might get a letter today. It's only about 11:30, 11:45 here. So it's too early for the mail. Now, I won't finish this tape at all, because I'm just waiting to see if there's any letters from you or Lynn or anybody, so I can put this on the tape. Oh, yes. I also fixed the lawn, put some dandelions and everything. Today looks like it might rain or snow. It got a little chillier today. So because of that, I wanted to get everything I could off. So if it should rain, it will be, our lawn will even be looking good. Our lawn does not look bad at the present time. Oh, Alpert, how's the weather there? What have you been doing? Exciting. Oh, let's see, another thing is when we go to Vegas, you don't have to pay for anything. We'll pay. I mean, we'll be glad to pay for you. We'll just split it. We don't care. We're just having fun. So you try to call Lynn anyway when you tie up to a pier, and you have that Autobahn or auto radio or whatever you mean, and just get it. You know, have you heard from Henrietta if she got the camera? Yeah, these things are strange, Albert. I mean, people want things, and if you get it for them, they don't acknowledge that they have it. Now, I see no reason why she couldn't acknowledge right away, because we got that centerpiece from you in 3-4 days. So I see no reason, but they were gone for a week. Maybe that's the reason you haven't heard. Or at least you should know if they received the camera. Let us know if they acknowledge it, because I sure as heck am not going to write them and ask them. We don't get enough mail from them or anybody in Philadelphia to make any difference. So when you call in, ask why he doesn't write more often. I mean, if you can't get a hold of him. Now, you know, the reason sometimes you can't get a hold of him, he can work nights and then one-time days and in between. So you're going to have to keep trying each time. But I'm sure everything's fine and all. And it's just that they write when they feel like they want to write. In the present time, they know everything's fine here, so they're in no hurry to write. And that's the only thing. So I'm not perturbed about it. It's just that we're so used to having people write, and then all of a sudden not hear it, and we like to hear people write. We thank you for the way you've been writing all the time. Now, I'm not going to finish this tape, not because I don't want to. I want to see if there's any mail from you, or any mail from the kids, or anything else, so I could finish it on the tape, and you could get this, because I'm sure we'll mail this to you tomorrow morning. I still haven't smoked, incidentally, and I'm just running around trying to lose some weight. I have the earning to smoke, but I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to stay off of it for a while. Okay, then I'll write to you later. All right? I don't mean write to you later. I'll finish this tape later on today. All right? Okay. Hi, Albert. I'm continuing the letter the same day. We received a letter from you dated 9 April in which you jokingly said that you were going to re-enlist again for another year. We knew it was a joke, but congratulations for making second class. At least you can see you could do it. Look, you also sent that Ford Motor Company quotation on the LTD into Denver, Colorado. Now, your total military price was $3,540.65. Now, then you add 3% Colorado state tax, about $100 for 69 model. Now, I would like to tell you this. The one that you had in Longmont that I sent you the quotation was about $200 less. So they aren't giving you a break. And it had the 302 engine, and it had the transmission automatic, it had the power steering, the power brakes, the radio. In fact, it had an AM/FM radio, and it had the tinted glass, and the console it had, and you don't even have a console here. It had the air conditioning, it had wheel covers, and it had white walls. So you aren't getting a deal. I wouldn't even trust it. I don't think you should even trust it. Now, the standard equipment is standard all over. So you take it from there. I'm not telling you any more, but all I could say is you are not getting a deal. Because, first of all, if you could get a Thunderbird at this price, which is the best, I would take it. But I wouldn't take an LTD. Well, ask them what a Thunderbird's worth. If you're going to go try to save money, why don't you go for a Thunderbird? Why go for an inexpensive car like an LTD? So try it out. Ask them what they'll give you for what it will charge you for a Thunderbird. That's all I would do. There's still no mail from the kid. So I guess everything is fine. And they'll write us when they feel like it. Or they could be trying to get a tape together. Their service probably isn't as good. However, we'll get mail from you in 5 days. And when they do write, it's been taking about 5 days. So I don't know. It's just they could be busy. You never know. Anyway, what's new otherwise? I see that you're going to go to Corregidor this week. You should have a lot to tell us and a lot of pictures to take. And let us know how interesting it was. Also, about Philadelphia, I wouldn't worry about it. If they don't have enough intelligence to write you, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't write them. You could drop Henrietta just one more note and say, did you get the camera or didn't you? And that's all. I wouldn't tell them nothing or anything else. I just asked them if they got the camera. Because one of these times, I'm going to write Gus. I'm going to say, did Lynn write you about the prices of the cameras? Or did you answer them or what? And then forget all about it. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to tell Lynn to do, and everything else. If they don't have enough gumption to go right after you and write, I don't know what else you could do. Okay? Now I'll wait till Mother comes home. We'll finish the tape together and get it mailed to you in the morning. All right, Albert? One thing more about the car. Albert, why don't you go for a Thunderbird? Why don't you go first class? If you feel they're giving you such a big break, go first class, get a Thunderbird, or get a hot car of a different brand. Why stay with LTD? LTD does not even have bucket seats on their 2 doors. So I would go for the Thunderbird. I mean, that's just a thought. Also, it looks like the weather is going to stay nice. The wind's blowing a little. The Mother isn't home yet, but I'm going to finish this tape anyway, and we'll get it through to you tonight. Even though it is Saturday, we'll give all day. I'll go by the post office downtown, and we'll get it all ready and shipped to you tonight. Oh, another thing I was going to say is, when you go on those trips, what do they charge you when you take those side trips? Do they charge you much money, or does the Navy just take you? And when you get into your pier, what does that mean? You don't have to go into the small ships to get liberty. You just get off the ship and just get liberty. Is it that much better? or is it just less time to get onshore and back? Oh, another thing, how's the weather there? And what do you mean you're having rainy season? I thought by that time you would be in Hong Kong. About Hong Kong, make sure you get enough clothes, but I wouldn't get all your clothes in Hong Kong because there's going to be things you're going to need here. I get the most expensive stuff for yourself in Hong Kong, stuff that you would never buy here. I just go all wild, Alpert. I mean it. Because with the small amount of time you got left right now, I would get every opportunity, go everywhere, see everything, because, 125 days is not too many days. And actually, this is April the 14th, and you got April's about gone. You got May, you got June, you got July, and period. That's it. You got about 90 days or 3 months, and then the odd days. So you got it licked as far as doing your time in the Navy. And about Shell Oil, you know what to do about that. You just do it. Just don't make it very personal. Make it impersonal. And I'm sure pretty soon you'll be getting word from Larry telling you who to write to. Have you heard from anybody else? Are your friends writing you? Telling you who you're doing? When I went to King, I saw Fisher. Looks like he's still out. So I don't know what keeps him out or anything else. He keeps telling everybody he's trying to this and that. It could be a reason why he's not going to do it. These things people never know. They just see a person walking around and say, how did you stay out? More credit is the way I feel. So, Lettre has to take a week this week. He knows she isn't home. She should be home pretty soon. And we'll get the tape all done, put the stamps on it, and we'll let it go. And I don't know what we're going to do tonight. I want to go see Heat of the Night. That's the only one I have not seen. And I would like to see. And they made a pretty good show. That's the downside. I don't know whether I want to sit down and drive in a movie or go to one of those little movies that is playing. It's something Mother wants to do, I'll do. If not, we won't see it in the Heat of the Night. I don't care. I didn't see it then. I don't see it now. As far as TV is concerned, all repeats started about a month ago. It's the first time that they've had repeats so early in the year. And they claim to make all these shows cost so much money that the big shows aren't being made to last all the way into May. They're just making them right up to, you name it, February. So Jackie Gleason's been a repeat since January. So maybe this is the time when you get home you'll be able to see all the good repeats. But I don't know. Are you going to get a color TV when you get home, or are you going to have all your tapes? Now, the way you talk, you should have a real first-class set of recorders and tapes and so forth. So I would buy more and get all that equipment that you want, because that is equipment, Alpert, that if you ever tried to put it together in the States here, it probably would cost many, many dollars. So while you have an opportunity to buy it and get anything you want. Now, how about your wristwatch that you was going to get, that real good wristwatch? Are you going to get a Rolex or a Bulova, or what kind? You were saying you wanted to get an Accraton wristwatch. Are you still going to get a good wristwatch before you get out of the Navy? There's a lot of things you need. So if I were you, I'd start getting all this stuff. I'm going to give Ruth your check next week that you got back from the income tax so she can deposit it. And then the few dollars that you make. But don't worry about the money. We'll just have a ball, because you'll make a lot of money when you go back to work for Shell. Because Shell Oil Company will see that you make a lot of money. And, well, looks like I'm getting close to the end of the tape. And as always, I keep getting more and more excited as the tape is getting ready to be turned over. But instead of turning it over, this time the tape is just about getting ready and ready. So you be good, have fun, let us know if you called the kids, and still make an effort. And we're still writing him. Have fun. Be a good boy. Write. Tape us some more. Write. Have fun. Let us know. I'm trying to get to the end of this tape. And it seems to go round and round and round and round. So I guess I'm just like you. I think the tape is at the end, but it's not at the end. All the weather is staying nice. Everything is fine with us. I feel pretty good. Mother feels pretty good. And she's writing you every day. I'm writing every day. Next week, there's not much. I'm going to go to California the following week. Here she is. It's almost over, so...
To walk in and hear him talking, I thought he had rocks in his head. I couldn't imagine what he was doing. Just got home from work and it's windy as heck out. What do you know?
Tell him how much you did.